Hey guys, welcome back! Today I will show you how to quickly paint an environment from start to finish, and also we'll break down what I think is the most important step, especially for beginners, the composition planning stage. I will talk about some ideas and principles I used. Stay tuned because by the end of the video we'll have a nice little sketch ready. My name is Victor, I'm a professional concept artist, and I really hope you'll enjoy this tutorial. If you do, please consider liking and subscribing. Also, don't hesitate to ask any questions about the process in the comments. Alright, let's start! In the beginning, I just laid in a few lines for the background, really quick, and then started to sketch the characters, because that's our focal point. This time I didn't manage to get any reference images, so you will see me adjusting them time to time throughout the video. The idea was to create a medieval or fantasy scene where we see the father taking his son to teach him hunting maybe, or just practicing some archery, something like that. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the composition. We basically have two focal points, right? The characters, and the second one would be the village in the background. And I would like the viewer's eye to go from our first focal point to the second one, and maybe somehow come back to the first one again. The main question is, how would you frame the characters so that they're visible and distinctive in the scene? I guess we can start with blocking out the foreground and see how we can frame them. So let's do that real quick. Okay, now we can do the characters as well. By the way guys, don't forget there is a link in the description with some of my most used Photoshop brushes. It's free of course, so have a look, experiment, use them, let me know what you guys think. You can also translate them to Procreate on iPads, for example. Okay, I guess we can also block the river now. Now the village, so we can see if we have a nice graphic read. Now I'm putting down some marks for the vegetation in the background, and this is basically the spot that I was worried about. I wasn't sure if I want the characters to be brighter and the background darker or vice versa, but I think in the end I will just make the faces lighter and they will pop out somehow. Actually we can also try darkening the sky a little bit. I think the image would be more readable like that. And let's see if brightening the faces would do the trick. Okay, so I think I will leave it like this. Obviously this is just a sketch. Eventually things will change up a bit. Alright, now that we have the composition, let's try and find the mood. Let's just put in some color really quick. I'm also thinking that the area will be covered with snow, but not everywhere. There will also be some patches of ground seen underneath it. Okay, so far I've just put some generic colors for the village and the foreground tree. Now let's put some flat color on the characters and see where we can go from there. Again, it's quite important to have reference images. I was trying to figure out how the characters look on the go, basically trying to figure out different color schemes, but the process would have taken much less time if I had the reference images. Okay, I guess we can leave the characters like that for now. Let's now focus our attention towards the background. See what kind of colors we can introduce, see what kind of mood we can create. Will it be foggy or maybe a more clear image? We'll see. Now I'm deleting this tree and starting it over because I think it was on the same layer as the background and it became a little bit hard to manage it. Alright, so as you can see, I've put a couple of marks for the ground, and I'm also trying to manage the background a little bit, adding some details, but not too much. I don't want it to be too distracting. adjusting the characters a little bit and adding some details.
Alright, at this point I'm jumping through the main planes, adding details in the foreground, background and so on. Main idea is to have some sort of consistency. Don't put something too distracting, especially to distract from our focal point. Now I'm adding more textural information and also trying to figure out this foliage in the foreground. Alright, finally back on some character work, adjusting the proportions, defining the forms and adding some details. I wasn't 100% sure which direction to take the characters, so don't forget to see the end of the video for the final image. Alright, finally adding the bow and the quiver. For some reason I was delaying it, but basically this helps the storytelling a lot. And also notice that the bow is pointing downwards towards the village, towards our second focal point. And I think I will also make some adjustments to the ground so that it also help lead the eye towards that village. Alright, a few more details and we can call it done. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and found it helpful. Please consider subscribing and sharing for more videos like this. Also ask any questions about the process in the comments. Thanks again for joining in, and I hope to see you in the next video, coming soon.